rec center, you've got something, and this is only for us to just start talking about, but if you remember last time we talked about different pieces of the rec center agreement, and this, the only places where there are changes or questions that are either in bold or I just put question mark places, because one of the things we talked about was approving a $7,500 payment, and that future payment from the district to the rec center was dependent upon the rec center's development of funding streams to support the budget in other ways. And then other parts of the agreement, these are just my suggestions. Dave did call and talk to me about some places where I struck out physical education use of the facility. And he was worried that if we took that out of there, we wouldn't be able to use it for that again, if we ever wanted to. And
I disagree, because if we're going to use it for PE, we're probably going to look at
giving them more
money.
yeah.
So I don't think that's an issue for them or us.
And one of the things she'd wanted added in the agreement was that youth teams that are not necessarily associated with a school wouldn't be charged for use of the rec center, like some of the summer programs. And honestly, on the front page, that number 1, and it was listed just that way in the original agreement, but it's at number 1, represent $1,500 as swim team contribution, and that's just exactly the way it was written. But I could not for the life of me remember. We talked about swim team at that rec center meeting, and I didn't know, I honestly don't remember.
1,500 of the cities is allocated.
Ours is not us. Okay. So that's why it's under that city 2008. Right. Gotcha.
Okay. 1,500.
We don't have to change that, or you don't do anything with that, because that's.
I read my notes and I could not for the life of me figure out what the heck that meant. So, and on the back you can see places where it would look like those would be things that we wouldn't need to have it say anymore.
Yeah.
It would seem like this would need to go to the city next for them to take a look at, and then eventually to Colin to take a look at, so that we don't have issues with it. I'm not sure if those asterisks right here on the front page, if that says what you want it to say, but you wanted a sentence or two. I understand what that means, but I don't know if anybody else would when they read it.
Yeah, they might want it maybe more official, worded some different way to request it. But
yeah, who's going to review it? I guess until we
get a little further here.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good idea to give this to the city and let them use that. This is our general idea, what we're thinking, and here it is, and see what they say.
And when I give it to them, my thought would be I'm giving it to them with the same exact form as this, so they can see what we were taking out and,
yeah.
Right?
I would say go ahead.
Yep.
Okay.
Fine.
I can do that.